Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to take a look at Type King, where we test our typing skills. Stories are unlocked by playing the typing game mode. As you climb higher, you discover more of the story, which you can read here. So I'm going to play this a bit out of order. I'm so sorry. I went to normal because I'm a pretty fast typist. This is real time. This is me typing. There's no speeding up or anything. When we get closer to the end of the story, I will actually read the full version of the story where you're not just stumbling watching me try to type, because I cannot type and read at the same time. My brain is not capable of that. So in a few minutes, I'll start reading this story per level. Let us keep the topic light for one more tower before delving into the big issue of this kingdom. It is a beautiful day, after all, so why spend it pondering serious topics? Now that I think about it, there has hardly been bad weather since I woke up from my short nap, which lasted 1,000 years. Could there be some weather magic at work here? I seem to remember that at least one vassal state was known for constant rain. The people there were also known for drinking lots of tea, but I do not think those things are related. Alright, I got the next level. That forest looks welcoming, or maybe not exactly welcoming, but nevertheless something I would enjoy trekking through. After sleeping for so long, my legs itch for some action. Instead, I use magic to move, which sounds bizarre, but to be honest, my legs could never get us to the top of the tower. Not here, and probably not even if this tower had plain old stairs I could use. It is not like I am an athlete, after all. I should research if there is any athletic magic I can learn just to mix things up a bit. I might be too old to start now, though. Can you be too old to start something? I hope not, as I am not getting any younger. Let us just agree that age does not close any doors. There, now that we have agreed on that, only the sky is the limit. And to be completely honest, we might have to go above the clouds here, so we may as well be unstoppable. This positive thinking is really something. I think it is generally better to go about things with a positive mind instead of a negative. However, I do not completely believe in the magic of manifestation, which is mainly because I have not practiced that magic for myself. I hope the last floor was not too much of a hassle. I tend to wander a bit in my thoughts. I am sure that happens to all of us, but I admit with age it happens more often. How do you compose your thoughts when you need to? Are there things that help you focus? For me, it is music. I just wish the song would change, as it does loop quite a bit, I must admit. I wonder what sort of wizard deals in musical spells. I would like to learn about those, just to maybe add some variety to the music in my life. Is that dragon following me? I feel like I have seen it before. Also, a lot of the animals seem to follow me around. I assume it is because they have not seen a wizard before. Hardly warrants following, though. Maybe my druidic magic has evolved without me knowing. I do admit I respect nature more and more as I age. When you are younger, you tend to take things for granted, but as you get older and older, you learn to appreciate the things around you. The same goes for arts of all kinds. At least, that is what happened to me. I wonder if there are unicorns high up in the clouds. I have heard some stories, but never seen one myself. Most, of course, say that they do not exist, but then again, they do not believe in wizards either. And here I am. I am exceptionally skeptical in believing these kinds of things, so I will have doubts until I am proven wrong. I have been proven wrong multiple times, but that does not mean I am only less skeptical in the future. For a scientific approach, it is vital to remain critical. With spells, it is even more important, since there are no laws like in science, so things can easily spin out of control. We have really gone above the clouds. When I mentioned it some floors ago, I was not sure we would actually be here. You have really outdone yourself already. With all of the plants and mushrooms withering away, it is quite ugly here. I assume it is too cold up here for those to prosper. I wonder how the old croak up there keeps himself warm. Maybe his heart is so cold that warmth would only hurt him. Okay, I promise to keep this lighthearted, so I'll not go any further. I guess we should try to hurry up to the top, as it's already quite close. 2 more floors, I think. can definitely see my house from here. Well, it is more like a cabin than a house. I definitely need to fix the roof if I can see a hole in it all the way from here. How did I not notice that? Maybe it has collapsed after my departure? I wish I had specialized in construction magic so that these kinds of things would be easier. I wonder if magic had a hand in building these towers. They are massive and somehow stay upright even with the poor condition they are in. Again, nothing a few renovation spells could not fix, if only I remembered any. Ah well, better keep moving. I cannot believe I even thought of fixing this place up when I do not even own it. Maybe soon I'll have some power over the ruling in this state. Oh, I feel slightly lightheaded. It could be all this flying. I've not flown this much in what feels like eternity. I think this is the last floor. You have done extremely well. Thank you for helping me on this journey. I could not have done it alone. Or maybe I could have, but I enjoyed the company nevertheless. Okay. I guess that is all. You might have seen what I do when I get there already, but if not, just enjoy the sight. Oh, and rest those hands of yours, as there will be a good boy wanting scratches. Congratulations! It took us 12 minutes. You did it. The tower is now cleansed of corruption and the governor has been replaced by a good boy. Good drum. Okay, now we're gonna go over to the easy, which was supposed to be the first part, but I did them out of order. Have you ever been tired enough to nap for 1,000 years straight? Well, I certainly have. Waking up, things tend to be a little different. That is okay, though. Things tend to change whether you are awake or not, so better get used to it. What is the first thing you do when you wake up? Brush your teeth? Good answer. Cannot go wrong with that. The next step would be breakfast, right? No magic can be done on an empty stomach, after all. And we do need magic to fix things. What sort of dreams do you have when you sleep? I hope you do not have nightmares like I do. I keep seeing this dream of a distant island with even more towers. Having nightmares really sucks the joy out of resting. How to prepare for a short nap that lasts 1,000 years? With some experience on the subject, I can offer a tip. Have a glass of water on the bedside table. I wish I had thought of that myself. Waking up after 1,000 years does leave your mouth somewhat dry. A few more tips for sleeping 1,000 years. Make sure there is no handsome prince waltzing around, since they might get some ideas and try to wake you up. Although I've only heard that happen once, and even then it was a princess and not a wizard like me. Finally, after waking up, remember to replace your newspapers because the information written there is terribly outdated. For some reason, the horoscope text remained the same in the newspapers. I have never seen any of that magic in action, so maybe I am slightly biased against it. We are getting quite close to the top of the tower. I hope you are not afraid of the heights, as we will be extremely high up there. The tower is also breaking apart, so if you start feeling queasy, just try not to look through the cracks and holes in the building. Have you ever used magic to fly? It takes years of practice, of course, but it is easily worth the effort. So if someone ever offers to teach you, you should do it. In general, learning new things is usually worth it, so seize every opportunity. Doing new things keeps your mind young, too. This is the last floor. You have done very well to get us this far. Only a little bit more to go and we are golden. There is a guy up there I need to swap out. I think I can do that alone, so you can just sit tight and watch. Maybe even relax too. There's plenty to do after this, you know, so try not to get too used to the relaxing part. I enjoy typing things to make the world more organized. Types are important for having a way to differentiate and describe all the things around us. For example, there are multiple types of plants, and knowing which are poisonous is beneficial. I'm going too deep now. Talking about types always gets me going. I am here to do a job, and that is to cleanse the corruption and hopefully write a guide for future wizards to do the same. A good start would probably be to define what corruption is. It is the abuse of power for your own gain. That could be the first tip for fighting corruption for my guide. It is easy to recognize once you know what to look for. Okay, that should be the first floor and the introduction to my guide done. So, corruption and power go hand in hand. But who holds the power and risks being corrupt? Rulers, kings, queens, governors, anyone who controls the action of others. They each hold power in different amounts, but even a small amount of power can tempt one to the side of corruption. This is true for people of all ages. Not even children are safe. It is easily proven by giving one child some power over the others. Human nature works in mysterious ways. This brings us to my second tip for the reader. Power feeds corruption. Well, that should be all for the second part. We already know that history is written by the victor, meaning that whoever holds power can choose to tell others how things happened. The ruler can influence what is written and what is taught to people about the past. Therefore, it is vital to remain critical of what you hear and search for the truth with the utmost vigilance. This takes us to our third tip. Corruption distorts history. It is important to see past what is written, as words themselves have an agenda, and that agenda is usually given by the one in power. Nothing is ever black and white, so remember that you are only seeing things from one perspective when it comes to anything written, even this. And that should be all for the third floor. I think it is important to look to history to understand the current moment. To understand the history of the kingdom we currently live in, we need to go back some 1,000 years to when the last peace was negotiated. During that time, the land was split almost evenly among 15 vassal states. The 15 states are all under their own governor. Above them is only the king. Now you might think that having a single person responsible would make for concise and timely decisions, but it is quite the opposite. With absolute power comes great responsibility and a crushing workload. So, over time, the kings have delegated most everyday tasks to the governors. In turn, the governors spend most of their time trying to win favors from the king or waging wars with each other. They all strive for more power and ignore their responsibilities. This leads us to the fourth tip. Corruption leads to a lack of responsibility. The fourth floor is now cleansed. Whew. Another thing I want to get across is that with great power come great enemies. Responsibility, sure, that too. But things are more complicated than that. When the kingdom was split, a tower was built for each vassal state as a monument and symbol of the newfound peace. However, the rulers quickly adopted them as their primary places of power. First, they were fortified, but later on, it was deemed more efficient to simply limit access to protect the governors. There are still occasional attacks against the towers, but the rulers are kept safe from usurpers because the top levels of the tower are nearly inaccessible. They are not fully secure, however, and that is because all of these towers are in poor shape because of corruption. The funds for repairing the towers keep disappearing into the shadows as the rulers turn a blind eye. The same goes for public funds in general. This takes us to the fifth tip. Corruption is the enemy of progression. Well, this floor should be clear now. Was this the fifth one? Done for the kingdom? The changes made by one ruler are usually subtle and thus do not elicit a major reaction from the public. This, however, add up as rulers come and go. As each ruler takes a little bit more power for themselves, we end up with corruption. When the system was invented, the governors were chosen by the people and only ruled for a set amount of time. These days, the governors are selected by a few wealthy individuals and hold their position indefinitely. This caused some outrage in the people, of course, but since it was done gradually, the outrage was not enough to change things. It is important to notice these smaller changes as they happen and think of their effects in the bigger picture. This takes us to our 6th tip. Corruption is subtle. The 6th floor has almost got me going in circles, but it should be cleansed now. Transparency is the key to opposing corruption. It, however, is hard to uphold, especially since any corrupt person will do their absolute best to hide their true nature, and usually they also have the power to do so. Still, swift action is needed when corruption is uncovered, or else it will keep spreading. However, it is important to realize that fighting evil forces is risky and can earn you enemies in high places. The best way to fight is to not do it alone, as there is strength in numbers. So try to gather numbers as early as possible and get your message out. This takes us to the 7th tip in fighting corruption. Corruption fears masses. Successfully overcoming corruption takes a whole village. Another floor cleansed and even more wisdom gained. I have already made it to the second to last floor. I never thought cleansing corruption would be this easy. Maybe I am just that good. I wonder if writing those tips before was really necessary. Maybe all it takes is to bring light to the darkness and expose everything. Why is there still corruption if fighting it is this simple? I wonder if we should all just do this once in a while and then go about our business as usual. A little like spring cleaning. Just do it every year and we should be good. We might not even need everyone to participate if one wizard like me can do so much done in so little time. Just let us wizards handle it. Wait, why does it seem like the corruption is suddenly getting worse? Am I causing it to increase now? I need to get my head in the game again. Arrogance is clearly not helping here. Okay, deep breaths and we'll get there. Maybe that should be our 8th tip. Corruption thrives in arrogance. I definitely saw that firsthand. Okay, surely that is enough for this floor. The next one should be the last. I can already sense the bloated, corrupt body of the governor just above me. What should I do with them? The people need a leader, at least an illusion of a leader, though decisions are made elsewhere. Even if we were to find a person that cannot be corrupted, they would only rule for as long as they live. None of us can live forever, which again leaves the door open for corruption. Maybe I would be the best option then, to set an example. Surely that is what we need right now, a solid leader to start. Wait, have I come all this way to simply succumb to evil temptations myself? Unlimited power has already been at my fingertips, and I can still feel the temptation trying to blacken my very soul. Maybe this is secretly the reason why I'm here, to get more power for myself. Could it be that I am simply an evil wizard, here to gather more knowledge and power? Ruling the kingdom would definitely make me almighty. That does sound appealing. But no, I must resist. I just need to come up with a way to make sure the state will never fall under corruption again. Wait, I got it now. What if the ruler was pure by definition? Someone that could not be corrupted? Then we would just need a steady supply of candidates so their lifespans would not be a concern. I think I might have finally solved this. Could it really work? Oh, I think I got tired and so I just mistakes everywhere. And we got the puppy again. Yay! Okay, jumping, not my favorite. Oh, typing and jumping. Type king. Okay, I think that's a pretty good show of what the game is about. If you want to see more, let me know. My hands. Thanks for keeping me company.